Here we are. This is us. We are the ones of the cars you've just seen passing by in the tunnel of DNA. We are the ones who love dreaming, but also making our ambitions come true. Till we see our ambitions come true, actually, since we made it possible. We are the ones who love making. We are makers. We love essence even before shape. Although we dress that shape in a very sexy way, which is exactly our car's design. We are informal luxury, like the thousands of colors of our car's liveries. Yet we have one obsession. We're obsessed with innovation and technology because we love shaping the future. We try to put the person in the center. And Urus is one of these experiences. First of all, let me say it is 100% Lamborghini DNA. Namely, it is a more generous Lamborghini as it opens up to another dimension because it not just involves the driver and his experience, but also the family, children, our partners. So this is a Lamborghini that opens up to a social dimension. We're all of this because we've been listening to you, because we love listening. Lamborghini people are always listening. We feed on challenges and we define ourselves as challengers. And the challenge I and my team had to face, the toughest one, was the introduction of Urus here in Sant'Agata. A completely new car compared to the ones we've manufactured so far, and doubling the size of our company. And all of this within just 365 days. In order to make this factory, we started from 80,000 square meter agricultural parcels surrounding the existing buildings. And we realized that in the short amount of time we had, we couldn't apply conventional methods. And today we're here. We're here at the very heart of expansion, in the production heart where we build Urus, where everything I'm going to show you takes place. Was shaped in a very short time, but together with shape, also a change in substance has been implemented. It's a world where our people, their skills and abilities are at the very center of the production process. Thanks to the manufacturer Lamborghini, we'll be able to have better performances in our production processes. This is Urus.
Illuminiamo?
A little bit of light. Thank you very much. See you later.
Hey.
Okay, let's start with Urus. Well, Urus is already here with us. What I wanted to tell you is that it was a great challenge for us in the research and development department, namely to find a way to inoculate the DNA of a super sports car, of a Huracan or Aventador, into such a car, in an Urus, an SUV car, which put two question marks. First of all, the height of the car, using the accelerator pedal, the brakes and the suspensions and any dynamic element of the vehicle in the most perfect way. But this is not enough. We needed a vehicle that can be driven on earth, stones, gravel, like a rally car, without any compromises. The other challenge we had to face was to have a car that is able to surf on desert dunes. So with a special setup, this car can exploit its power and drive completely on dunes, on sand, and on any other road surface. And last but not least, low grip conditions that you can find wherever in the world, like on snow and ice. Keeping it as close as possible to our super sports car, and we came to the profile of Urus, which has the Lamborghini DNA. This way we defined a sort of mission. The mission is composed of individual goals that can be attained. The first one, which is the most important for sure for Lamborghini, is the engine, the very heart of every Lamborghini. For this vehicle, we've selected a V8 twin-turbo 4-liter engine with 650 HP, 850 Newton meters. This is the very first turbo engine in Lamborghini's history, and for us, it was a very tough decision aimed at the very purpose of this car. The turbo was necessary because this car had to be able to do what I've said before, so to be driven on any road surface. And in order to guarantee the all-wheel drive, we've introduced a completely new system, which is a central torsion differential, self-locking differential, and for the first time a torque vectoring rear differential was introduced. This is different because it is not just able to dissipate energy, as it usually happens in differentials when one wheel spins, when it has no grip. With torque vectoring, the torque is transferred to the other axle in order to make it possible to still have drive and to guarantee the best road grip conditions for the vehicle to be on the ground, which means to have systems that make it possible to exploit all of this energy, all of this power. On Urus, for the first time, we've implemented air suspensions, which makes it possible to have a lower setting for the car when you want to use it on a racetrack or in a sporty way, or when you use it off-roads, you can lift the car and increase the clearance in order to avoid any possible obstacles on the ground. This makes it possible for the car to improve its dexterity, and it is as if the wheelbase can radically be shortened by 50 centimeters or so. So you can shorten a wheelbase or lengthen the wheelbase depending on the driving conditions in order to guarantee the best stability conditions under any circumstances. Always on this vehicle, we've introduced the active anti-roll bars, the movable anti-roll bars, which make it possible for the vehicle to change the stiffness of the suspension. So ranging from the typical racetrack conditions where you need stiffer suspensions on both sides or on different sides, or to different stiffness when you have irregular road surfaces, in order to adapt to the road surface the best way, stop performing and be equal to his sisters in a way, We've developed new tires that are completely new with Pirelli. They have a different cross section in the front and in the rear in order to make it possible for the car to be more agile and flexible, in order for it to be more sporty and to be used on the racetrack and to have a better handling. And we've got 21 inches and 23 inches, and the 23 inches are the biggest tires we have as a standard equipment for a car in the ones to see later on in the car, which is called tamburo. The tamburo is a cylinder-shaped selector located in the middle of the central tunnel for an ideal ergonomic position for you, so in the most accessible position. And thanks to this system, it is possible to use two levers. The one on the left makes it possible to just click in order to switch between the different driving modes of the car: Strada, Sport, where of course you have more fun to drive. Then you've got the Corsa, which is the most performance-oriented mode, where the engine really becomes wicked and enables you to have a super sport performance. Moving on to the Sabbia mode, so off-road conditions. Every one of you will have the chance to drive an Urus, will have the opportunity to customize their own car setup with Ego, and just by clicking the Ego button you can just activate that profile and drive in the preferred way. Let's go to the last vital element of the Lamborghini's DNA, which is design. Design is paramount. Design is one of the things you must immediately like. And for our guys working at the Centro Stile, the design department, of course, the challenge was to combine the typical style elements of our design with a completely new design if compared to the vehicles we've been manufacturing in the past 3 decades. The LM002 is the SUV we launched in the 80s, so 30 years have gone by, during which we've been only manufacturing super sports cars. So the work of the Centro Stile was really tough, and it was redesigning a car with these style elements. And the way we use to measure the design, the way which we use in order to understand whether we've attained this result, is we say every time that a Lamborghini comes, you don't need to read the name or to see the logo. You can immediately tell by the design and by the sound that accelerate from 0 to 100 kilometers per hour in 3.6 seconds. 3.6 seconds is a very, very hard time for super sport cars to reach. Not just that, also the 0 to 200 kilometers per hour, the acceleration is 12.8, and I can assure you that most super sport cars in the market have a hard time reaching it. So, as to the braking performance, you've got 30. Show you this is pretty much because the car is for sure conformant to any world's regulations and emissions requirements, and the top speed is 305 kilometers per hour, so it's the fastest SUV in the world. Because as you can understand, the situation is quite peculiar, but I think it must give us the right impetus to look forward, to look to the future, because these very moments show what the personality of the women and men is that live such an experience. So, with great respect of our Prime Minister, I'd like to say it's a great honor for us to have him here. An historical moment for our company, because for sure tomorrow will be very high in a way, and we'll have to manage this. But however, in tonight's presentation, we wanted to tell you what Lamborghini is today in 3 main points: the brand and its typical values. So it's a brand that is typical for our history. Then, of course, the technical presentation, the technical content Maurizio Reggiani has just presented. Since we made it possible, is the perfect claim which makes us grasp what this car is for us, what the size, the dimension of this car is, because from now on Lamborghini will change its position in the automotive industry. Our product portfolio will be extended to conquer new customers, but still with a car that is in line with Lamborghini's DNA. As I was saying earlier, today is the point of no return, so it's a new beginning for us, for Lamborghini, that we think will be even more active in the industry, in the automotive industry. As you can see, it has different soles, different colors, different settings, but still, we do believe that this car can make a difference in a landscape Lamborghini was not used to before, the sales volumes. Everything starts, of course, with the will of our shareholders who took up this challenge, and therefore I thank them. Mr. Staller really wanted Lamborghini to be here in Italy, so thank you very much once again. In this sense, we can mention the framework agreement that was signed in spring 2015 by the former President Renzi, Mr. Renzi, whom we thank, by the Minister Guidi, and the region Emilia-Romagna with President Bonaccini, who is here with us. So thank you once again. I'd like to thank our shareholders for believing in us, but where tomorrow has already come today for us, because we know that customers are at the very center of our activity. Our customers will be using this car, and we don't have to forget that we are a super sports car manufacturer, but this is something we have to bear in mind in order to move on. So I'd like to thank you very much. But ours is a teamwork, and I have the honor to represent this company. Here's the factory.
A questo punto per noi è
Now, for us, it's a really great honor to have you here on such a special day like today. And having our Prime Minister with us is, of course, a great honor and a great responsibility for us. Also because we want to be ambassadors of Made in Italy. So I'd like to invite our Prime Minister to join me on the stage, and I thank him for his patience. Technicians, workers, employees, the managers of Lamborghini, because if this was possible, well, this is thanks to you. So thank you for your work, for what you're doing. You made it possible. It was you that made it possible.